Good afternoon. This is Ned Oshiro. I'm your American English pronunciation coach. First of all, let me report on the latest, the status of the coronavirus-related figures. As of today, there is no new cases of infections related to this COVID-19. So the total number of infections in Okinawa stands at 142 infections and 7 people passed away. Now, with this kind of background, I'm sure that not only the Japanese but also foreigners living in Japan are having difficulty in trying to make their ends meet. So I just want to give you a little background on this, the foreigners living in Japan. First of all, as of October 2019, a total foreigners living in Japan were 1.65 million people. This figure is more than the figure 5 years earlier. Of the 1.65 million people, about 23% or 384,000 people were called what we call technical intern trainees, who came from Vietnam, Nepal, Myanmar, and other Asian countries under the so-called technical intern training program, which was sponsored by the Japanese government. Now, this program is designed to provide, to transfer skills, technologies, and knowledge accumulated in Japan to these developing countries in Asia, and to help these countries and promote international cooperation. But some critics claim that some critics claim that some Japanese employers are exploiting or misusing this program as a way to obtain cheap labor. Japan's labor statistic law requires all firms to cover at least 60% of their average wages if they compel their employees to take days off. So this provision applies to all workers regardless of their nationality, and both regular and irregular workers. In other words, if you have such an issue, please contact the local municipal government or the Labor Standards Supervision Office or Public Employment Security Office, commonly known as Hello Work. Now, COVID-19 also changed regulation regarding the mobility of these foreign trainees. Under the Technical Intern Training Program, foreign workers are not allowed to change their working places. But this COVID-19 has impact drastically all these, for the Japanese the employers, and they have forced some, the COVID-19 has forced some Japanese employers to suspend their business activities. If those firms that have gone bankrupt or cut back on their business activities, foreign workers working for these firms are allowed to switch or change their working place, as long as this the new working place is the same as before. In other words, if you're working as a construction worker, you're allowed to change to another construction worker. Okay? So if you don't have any information about this, please also contact with the local city office or municipality, a person in charge of such, this foreigner-related work issues. Now, some expert on labor laws advise that you should collect your work records, including employment contract that covers terms and conditions of your employment and work-related emails you have received from employers, so that these documents could be used as evidence to support your claim, and that you clearly state that how long you have been working for that particular firms. Okay, and Japan's labor market can no longer do without foreign workers, but Japan doesn't have a system to fully support them. Many non-Japanese workers are in a tougher situation than their Japanese peers because the language barrier limits their access to information. That's the reason I decided to, update once in a while on the status of these laws related to these foreigners working in Japan or studying in Japan. Now, as you may know, and as also reported before, there will be cash handouts of 100,000 yen for any foreigner, not only the Japanese, but also foreigners living in Japan. And this handout money is given to each person. If you have say 3 husband, wife, and then 2 children, all these two children also entitled to receive this 100,000 yen each. So that makes 400,000 yen, right? If you are a 4-member in a household. And and this is only the condition that you have registered yourself as a resident or alien. I mean, normally when you register yourself, you are issued this alien card, and this stands as of April 27 this year. So if you have a registration at the nearby city office as of April 27th this year, you're entitled to receive this handout money. An additional 100,000 yen is given to foreign students in Japan if their personal income from part-time jobs have drastically dropped due to this coronavirus. So if you have evidence to show that your income from this part-time job have been drastically dropped or cut back, then you are entitled to receive additional 100,000 yen. Now, emergency interest-free loans also available for people who are being forced to suspend their work, but it's very difficult to get the loans unless they are long-term resident. Now, as I said, those who are being in Japan and know, to a certain extent, some Japanese words or some Japanese self to be able to convey your message, please try to help these your countrymen or foreigners struggling to make their ends meet today. When a foreign worker with a working visa loses a job, he or she has to find another job within the 3 months or provide evidence that they are looking for a job or residence status, or residence status may be revoked. So I have to caution you that if you lose a job, I suggest that you start looking for another job instantly. And also, the best way to do it, if you don't know what to do with it, perhaps you should go to nearby the city office or the region where this government representative office located. And then have a consultation with the person in charge. And foreign students can stay Japan for job hunting up to a year after graduation. That's also a reminder. Remember that. Keep in your mind. If you graduate from Japanese college, or excuse me, the university or vocational school, you are entitled to receive, entitled to stay here in Japan for up to 1 year, during which also you have to find, good job. Job, perhaps at part-time job. I think many non-Japanese workers have been making only slightly more than the minimum wage, so they won't be able to make their ends meet if the sluggish economy continues to linger on. The government needs to do more to support foreign workers. But I'm asking you to do is that if you know anybody in your neighborhood, this foreigners who don't know much about Japanese and don't know how to even fill out this application form for handout money, please try to help them. And a lot of people I heard, I don't know whether maybe that their employers did not notify them or tell them about this handout money. Everybody, regardless of their nationality, is entitled to receive this handout money of 100,000 yen. And if you're a student, also you should talk to the person in charge at your Japanese language school. Okay? So that's it for today's Ned's mumbling from Okinawa. Thank you very much. Bye now.